clothes. I'm a little dress a little different because I usually will work out after live, but I mean before live, but I'm gonna work out after live today. So that way, I have all the behind the scene things of my desk work done as well as my live done, so I don't have to worry about any of this in case something else pops up after because I am needing some extra motivation to go and do what I need to do gym wise today. But I have it on my mind, and if it's on my mind, I'm gonna do it. So it's running through saying you're gonna do it, we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. But I'd rather get my live out of the way, so because I feel like I'm gonna get sleepy afterwards, just in case I do get sleepy, so I can rest for a little bit because I'm aware of my body and I understand what it needs and I know how to work with it instead of making a compromise that goes against it. So this is my compromise today. I'm going to be working out afterwards. I'm going to be giving my body what it needs still, but I'm going to do it on the time that I know that it is operating on, if that makes sense. So today we're going to be talking about what is going on with our inconsistent moods and the shift in our energy and how we think that we are broken as women, and we're not broken. This is not our design for us to be unstable and unbalanced, but in reality we understand that our hormones fluctuate every single month. Our weight fluctuates every single month. But we're not realizing that the things that we have in common with each other are not normal. It's common for women to be dealing with fatigue. It's common for women to have PMSing symptoms and to have hormonal imbalances like estrogen dominance or progesterone dominance. But these are not normal to our body. Dealing with fatigue and stress and feeling like a sense of disconnect with our body every single day, every single month is not normal. And as women, there are millions of women that are dealing with the same issues, and we've all categorized ourselves as just, this is what it has to be as a woman, this is what we have to go through. But why is it that millions of women are dealing with this issue, and then there's a handful of women who are not? And the reason why that the handful of women aren't dealing with these hormonal imbalances, these issues, and thinking that this is a part of their body is because they have realized their natural design of how the physical body is supposed to interact with the mental, with the energetic, spiritual side. And how your energy and your emotions and your physical body are all connected. But you have to have balance for you to feel like you are in your body, having the experience and knowing what is going on. Because the sense of disconnect is coming from you not having a restored balance inside of you. Thinking that diet culture, thinking that keto and paleo and Weight Watchers is going to support you in staying in a healthy space. Thinking that surgeries are your solution. Thinking that your hormonal imbalance is just a part of being a woman and so you should take a prescription. These are issues that as a society, as a collective, as a whole, specifically in the community of women, have put ourselves in a box of thinking that this is the only way that we can gain clarity, is thinking that all women deal with this and we all have PMS. And so we're all going to deal with this together and we're all going to complain about it together. But the pain points that you're having, the symptoms that you're experiencing is coming from the fact that you are lacking that balance. And it's possible for you to reverse and to restore your balance, but you have to know where to start first. You have to understand what waking up tired and having these crashes midday and pushing through with caffeine means to the body and what it means to you as a signal. You have to understand what an irregular or painful or heavy cycle is when your body is trying to communicate with you. What your mood unpredictability means. When you're sitting here waking up and your energy is all thrown off and you can't figure out why, and then you go throughout your day with your energy being thrown off as well, you have to understand that it's not just because you don't feel like yourself and you're going through depression, but look at the nutrients that you're having or the lack of nutrients that you have. You have to understand what it feels like to be out of survival mode so that you can be healing and healthy. But when you are stuck in survival mode, you're never going to understand what is going on and what's wrong. You're never going to pinpoint what these symptoms are trying to tell you. Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. Because saying, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I know this isn't me. Women come to me saying that all the time. And then they'll say, well, it's not me. I know my energy's not off because I've been working with my energy. I've been doing this, but it's something wrong with the physical. And you being in the mindset of thinking that it's not you, that it's not your actions that you're having, because it's not necessarily you subconsciously and consciously, but you've trained that into yourself. So when you believe that the habits that you have are not the problem and that your energy is not off, a lot of women have a rude awakening when they come and work with me, and not in a way that is disrespectful or rude, but in a way of them saying, oh, energetically, I was not aligned to the lifestyle that I was wanting because I wasn't using food as my medicine. I wasn't understanding how the physical and the energetics happen when you eat real foods, when you eat alive foods versus dead foods. Understanding what these processed foods are doing. Understanding why it's good for you to have fruits in your life rather than you just supplementing it in with supplements, or you sitting here thinking that you can add a little bit of fruit in your life and you should be healthy. But understanding the energetics of how it flourishes you from the inside out, because it gives your cells hydration, it gives your cells oxygen. And breaking that down and knowing that trying to eat clean is not just you eating salads and you calorie counting and restricting, you suffering through it. But you eating clean is not you taking supplements either. It's not about a fiber one bar or a tips and tricks that's going to help you be able to get this quick, fast solution. But learning the fact that eating clean looks like you eating a rainbow plate, and understanding how each color is impacting the body positively, how each food that you eat is either an add or a filler. It's going to add to your life by giving nutrients, or it's a filler that's going to add pain, suffering, illness, disease. Because when you're in the space of knowing what your fatigue means, knowing what these hormonal imbalances mean and how they're not random, you'll start to know that it's not just all in your head as a woman, and it's not all a part of your body's function as a woman, but it's all connected. You have to make the connection between your gut, your pancreas, your liver, your kidney, and your adrenal glands. How are you doing? Welcome in. And how your systems are designed to regulate your energy when you eat real whole foods. How your hormones should be balanced when you eat real whole foods. When you support your body in detoxifying according to your cycle, how your cycle gives back to you. And how it doesn't feel like a punishment, but it's a reflection of how you've taken care of your body this month. Because as women, we don't realize that your cycle, when you are menstruating, is a direct reflection of how you've treated your body this month. Have you treated it like trash and fed it trash, given it no nutrients? Or have you supported the body, given it nutrients, and now it can kind of feel good again? Because when you're overloaded and you're inflamed and you're feeling disconnected from the way that you live and the way that you're eating, this cannot keep you balanced. You are going to be constantly playing a cat and mouse game, constantly trying to play catch up with your own body, trying to fight off an illness or a disease, trying to give your body iron when you know you're iron deficient, trying to give your body magnesium when you're magnesium deficient. But when you're eating real whole foods, you're not sitting here constantly playing a catch-up game, a cat and mouse game, because your body is going to be able to absorb nutrients because your gut is balanced, because your blood sugar is regulated, because your liver is detoxifying on a normal basis, on a normal rate. People are sitting here not realizing how much you're overworking the body every single day with the toxins that you eat. Because the more and more toxins you pile on, the less your liver can work every single day to detoxify. It's going to keep doing its job. But instead of it stopping completely as soon as it gets overwhelmed, it's going to keep working overtime. So when you're supposed to be resting during your sleep, and the body is supposed to be impacted positively during sleep because your systems don't turn off, but they are supposed to get themselves set for the next day, correct? They're supposed to be ready for the next day. Now you're going to be sitting here waking up tired and trying to figure out why, and you're not going to the bathroom regularly. And it's because you have sat here and thrown your body system off, and you can't go to the bathroom when you wake up like you should be because you're not regular. And so now your liver is working overtime. You've been doing this for 3, 4, 10 years. And then you're looking, and they're looking at your liver now because you've been impacted by some kind of illness or disease. And they're telling you that your liver looks like somebody who's in their 40 and you're in in your 30s. This is what's happening. From years, decades, throwing off your body. And autopsies from coroners, when they're seeing what's going on with like the organs of in people who have passed away, the internal organs are 3 times your actual age. That is a sign to let you know that the body is working way past the capacity of what it needs to. It's working way harder than it needs to be. And it's still functioning and keeping people alive to a point. But is that really living and thriving when your body's organs internally are aging 3 times your actual age and poisoning you from the inside out, because that's what's slowly happening. You're getting poisoned from the inside out. You're consuming something, it's going inside of your body, it's not being digested properly, it's sitting inside the gut longer, it's sitting in the digestive tract longer, the liver is holding on to it, trying to detoxify it, sending something to the kidneys that it doesn't need to send to. And it's gone through this whole process of cycling through each organ, and you do this for years, hopefully trying to figure out something can go on that can help you on the inside out. Thank you for the follows and likes, guys. And the body, instead of it being able to break it down to support the system in releasing it, it shows signs of distress because it's in distress. I talk about this all the time. We know that you can't work, let's say a blender, for example, because if you have any blender, food processor, any new appliance, you know how safety rules and regulations are with those now, because they can get too hot when they work, right? You could be blending up something that's very taxing on your blender, for example, and it can get really, really hot, and then it could cause it to explode. It can cause the motor to go out. Things can happen. So they have a safety feature. When it gets so hot from being overworked for so long, it cuts itself off so it can cool down. But your body does not have that same type of cooling system where when it gets overworked, everything just shuts down for a minute, because if it did, you would die. So instead of your body shutting down, what it keeps doing is just overloading and overworking, because it doesn't have that regulated system to turn itself off like your blender does. But you're doing the same thing that blender is doing when you're working it hard because you're trying to blend a smoothie and everything is frozen. Your body internally is doing the same thing. It's getting too hot and it cannot turn itself off. But instead of it getting too hot, this is all the toxins that's building up over time, and it can't regulate it and it can't filter it. And so what does it do? It just keeps working overtime trying to fix the problem. Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. So this is why science has nicknamed your gut your second brain. Because when your gut is inflamed, when it's stressed out, when your pH is too low, when you're dealing with a whole bunch of processed foods, when you are sitting here dealing with terrible toxins inside of your food in general, because there's additives and fillers in your dairy, in your meat, in your processed snacks, the gut is going to be thrown off. It throws off everything. Nutrient absorption, your blood sugar regulation, it throws off your serotonin, it throws off your cortisol. And this means you're going to be fatigued. It means you're going to have brain fog. You're going to be having mood swings. You're going to be having issues of you developing estrogen dominance. Because your gut and your brain are directly connected. And we know that your brain is supposed to regulate to keep you alive. But when you're sitting here dealing with the issue of the gut is off, the brain is going to be sending panic signals to the rest of the parts of your body to go, oh, the gut's off again. Okay, digestive tract, you're going to have to work overtime. Okay, liver, you're going to have to work overtime. Pancreas, your blood sugar is going to be high for right now. Kidneys, your blood sugar is going to, and some of that sugar is going to leak into you kidneys, and the blood probably is going to get a little bit of sugar, but you'll be okay as long as we fix this. And then it doesn't get fixed. It never gets fixed. And then your adrenal glands are stressed out because of all the hormonal imbalances, responses from it's getting from the brain, the kidney, the pancreas, the gut. And when it's in overdrive, it's pumping more cortisol each and every day. And that cortisol not only is being produced in the gut, but it's also being pumped out by the adrenal glands. So there's two aspects inside the body that is pumping out more cortisol than normal. And that's on top of the external stress that people go through, work, children, family in general. That's on top of that. And then people wonder why in society, why people are dealing with cortisol issues, how they have all this high cortisol. And people don't realize also that when you have high cortisol for so many years, because people have been having high cortisol for years and dealing with that. After so long of you having high cortisol, it has to hit a bottom. It can't just stay at the high. It can't just stay at the top. It has to hit a bottom. And when it does hit that bottom, it's the baseline of where it's going to be. So instead of you being in the middle where it's balanced, your cortisol is going to hit an all-time low. And that causes just as many hormonal problems as you having high cortisol, because you need a balance. There's a difference between high and balanced, or low and balanced. Because you shouldn't have too high, you shouldn't have too low. Because cortisol has a key function and a key factor in your health when it's balanced. And when it's imbalanced, it's just causing more harm than good. And then when it's at a all-time low, it's causing way more harm than good, because the body's going, oh, our cortisol is way too low right now. And I know it's been super high, but it can't stay at a high. So I'm going to have to keep it low. And you're going to consistently be sitting here wondering why you're going through depression, why you're having anxiety, why you're sitting here having panic attacks, why you have no mental clarity. And it's because your body is panicked in every aspect of your organs, and it cannot feel like it can trust you. So you're exhausted. You're going to be anxious. You're going to have this weird feeling of where you can't pinpoint why your emotions are all over the place, why you're PMSing, why your cycle's so painful, why your mood keeps shifting. Because the spiritual and emotional truth behind it is that each organ has its own energetic imprint. Each organ has an impact on your energy. And each energetic response that you have is a sign to let you know that something is out of balance. The gut holds on to you having safety and trust within yourself. But when you're not feeding it the correct things, the gut cannot trust you. So the gut's pH is too low. So now you're not absorbing nutrients. Now the brain is panicking, and the brain is going, oh, I didn't get enough nutrients today to be able to help everything else function. That's the only way to go. The whole Western medicine society is not going to be supporting you. It hasn't been supporting you. But it's not going to be supporting you in the way that y'all think by the time of 2030. It's already happening now. And I can guarantee by 2026, people are going to be starting to get dropped by the insurance company for the simplest things. I saw this young lady, and I want to stitch the video if I can. If not, I'll just repost it. This lady who was talking about, she lost the lawsuit against a doctor where her medication made her skin, her body burned from the inside out, and it was showing through her skin, and it has shown through her skin. She looks like she has second-degree burns that have healed from third-degree burns all over her body from a prescription that burned her from the inside out. She lost the lawsuit against the medical field. She lost. It has, I think they said, she has hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical bills. And she lost. There's going to be a lot more cases like that. A lot more people that are on the internet crying and telling horror stories about they don't have a coverage for some type of surgery. They don't have coverage for a prescription they think that they have to have for the rest of their life. They don't have coverage for X, Y, and Z. Because insurance companies are no longer covering y'all because they don't have to. The only reason why they were doing it in the beginning was because there was laws and regulations against them not covering you because you're paying them. But these laws have changed. It's not just the fact that they're stopped covering old people on Medicare and Medicaid. It's everybody. It's not just them. Doctors are losing their jobs. Nurses are losing their jobs. Hospitals are closing. That's not a coincidence. It's linked. And you're already stressed out internally from everything that you're doing to your body. You're already stressed out from, like I said, work, family related things. Can you only imagine the stress that you will have if you add on top of that a medical bill, an illness, or a disease, and you're thinking that there is no solution because that's the only thing they're telling you to do is to go take a prescription or go get this surgery. When in reality, y'all's illnesses and diseases that you're dealing with, because the majority of them are inflammatory issues, are reversible. You can get rid of them. But it's a matter of you realizing how to reverse them based on your symptoms. Understanding that it's not just, oh, my gut is off, so I need to work on my gut health. No, your gut is off. I can guarantee there is more than just your gut that is thrown off. Because people who realize that one aspect is broken, one aspect has something going on, they usually don't realize that the gut has thrown off the liver, the pancreas, the kidney, and all of the systems are all falling short in helping you get back to restoration and balance. If you stay tuned, I tell you how. But I don't just jump to the how because you get a solution and then you get off the internet and do nothing about it. I've been doing this for quite a while. I've been plant-based for almost 5 years. I know the people who want change, and I know the people who just come for a quick, fast solution and a Band-Aid. I don't have quick, fast solutions. I have patience And I have clients who have patience to learn, to gain the knowledge and the understanding so that they can break down what is going on. Because it's deeper than just you going out and getting a supplement, you going out and eating a bunch of fruits and vegetables. It's energetic, it's physical, and it's spiritual. When you don't understand how they're poisoning you, you're not going to understand why you don't need to eat meat, why you don't need to eat dairy, why you don't need the processed snacks, why you don't need the medications, why you don't need the surgeries. Because they promote to women to get fibroid surgeries when they develop a fibroid or a cyst. Because they're like, well, this is a solution for you, or birth control, to try to minimize it and get rid of it, which it won't. And then women go get hysterectomies or partial hysterectomies, and they don't realize the fact that, or they go get a fibroid surgery rather, let me rephrase that. And they don't realize when you get a fibroid surgery, for an example of how this is not fixing the problem, fibroids are more likely to grow back. Because you know why? It's not because the surgery didn't work. You removed it. But it's because you're not getting to the root cause of the problem. And that's what I teach people what to do, how to do it. Is getting to the root cause of the problem. And your root is the fact that you are not in a physical and energetic alignment to understand how to balance your hormones, to get rid of the fatigue, to know how they've poisoned you so you stay away from them. Because getting a diagnosis is not the problem. People should go get a diagnosis. If you don't have a holistic doctor to be able to go to in your city, or you can't afford it, go to your doctor you're already paying the insurance for. But that does not mean you have to take the prescription or you have to have the surgery. If they tell you your iron is low, that does not mean you have to go out and take an iron supplement. I was told before I even went plant-based that we were supposed to be watching my iron, and that my iron was getting low, and that I was seeming like I was borderline anemic. And so then I'm like, oh my God, I'm borderline anemic. What do I do? What do I do? I'm taking an iron supplement, right? But within, I think in 2020, I want to say I had stopped around that time, had stopped taking it, because I was like, there's no way that this iron supplement is doing what it's supposed to be doing if my cycle is the way that it is. Start to learn what they were doing with our food. Start to understand how the body was operating. And then I slowly got to the space of learning how plant-based is supposed to support the body, because this is the real foods that come from the earth. And then as I started to break down, okay, this is why my body is not functioning correctly. This is why so many women have iron deficiencies. It made sense. They're going to keep promoting to you an iron supplement, but y'all don't realize the body does not recognize fake fiber, fake iron, fake magnesium. It has to come from a real source. And your supplements have fake products in them that mimic. And mimics don't get absorbed. They get held on to. They don't get absorbed to be used. Your body holds on to it and hopes maybe one day it can use it, but it can't. And so this is the space that we are in. And as I got deeper into me being plant-based, I didn't have to take an iron supplement, which I already had stopped. But I didn't have to take an iron supplement. I didn't have to depend on magnesium from a supplement. I realized very quickly I wasn't eating enough iron-based foods, and I wasn't cycle syncing. Because as women, we have to cycle sync. If you're not cycle syncing, you're not supporting the phases of your cycle, which means you're going to be hormonally off. Regardless of how healthy you eat, there are certain phases you have to eat more fruits. You have to eat more vegetables. There are times where you need to have more nutrients, and there are other times where it's okay for you to detoxify and fast. But when you're thinking that every single day you should be starving yourself and detoxifying and calorie counting and restricting, you're going to be hangry. And then you're going to be blaming your body for having PMSing symptoms. You're going to be hungry. And they're going to be blaming your body for being out of rhythm and needing rest. Like, we have to stop thinking that pushing through every single day as women is the space that we have to be in. Because we're not men. We're not supposed to operate like men. Men have a 24-hour sun clock. A 24-hour biological clock. And we have that 24-hour clock because that 24-hour clock, it communicates us too. That's the reason why we wake up. The sun is up, we're up. That's the reason why your circadian rhythm goes the way that it does. But women also operate according to the earth and the moon. And our phases sync together. And that is our cycle phases. And that's what I teach inside of my Balanced Body program. I teach you to understand all of these with your cycle phases, learning how to make plant-based foods, as well as the fact that you're making your own non-toxic products, your own non-toxic medicine. Because that's the space that we are in. You have to know these things. It's not just a matter of, oh, I'll have TikTok. It'll be able to help me if I need to look it up. You need to be able to know how to do these things on your own, currently, right now. Because we're not in this space to wait until 2030 and hope that nothing happens. It's happening. This is not to fearmonger. This is for the people who understand what is happening and they're looking for a solution. And they are ready to find that solution. Not just sit back and complain. Because the people who want to sit back and complain and sit here and be like, well, you know what? I don't have anything to do. Or I don't have this. I can't do this. Or the people who are talking about how fruits and vegetables are expensive. As soon as somebody says that a fruit or a vegetable is expensive, I'm like, what are you eating? Like, I'm 1,000% honest. What are you eating every day? Because if you're sitting here thinking that a fruit or a vegetable, a mushroom or something is expensive, you are eating crap. If you're going to the section where ramen noodles is and you're getting ramen noodles for $1 still today in 2025, your gut is so off and the parasites are so heavy inside of your body, they're speaking louder than your discernment. And I can't help. And I don't want to. I'm going to be 1,000% honest because I'm not here to drag people across the finish line. I'm here for the people who are already at the starting line and they're ready and they're looking for help. They're looking for the solutions. They're looking to how to sustain this. I'm not looking for the one that's over there in the crowd who hasn't ran a marathon in their life to start running a marathon today. Has no interest at all to run the marathon. So when I say the fact that it can be simplified, everything that about what I've taught inside of my Balanced Body program is from a simplified place. I've helped people who don't know how to cook, who have never been taught how to cook. I've helped people who don't know how to make plant-based meals, have never had a plant-based meal. I help people who have had it, but they need support because they have never been in the space of actually having inspiration. They only eat processed foods, or they are lacking inspiration and they've been trying for months. I have helped many different plethoras of women because I usually work with women. I have men come to me, but women are the ones who are ready for the solutions. I've noticed that men are just here to just try to energy siphon, and I'm not the one. I peep energy entirely too quick for people to energy siphon from me. I peep things entirely too quick. And so it usually does not last long because they realize I don't give them the time of day. Because at the end of the day, I'm here for the people who want change. And you feeling like something is wrong with your body is the programming that we are under. But you have to understand that in order for you to get to the space of healing, you need to know that your body is not betraying you. It's giving you symptoms because you have been thrown off. The answer isn't another diet. The answer is not you taking a stack of supplements. The answer is not you getting a surgery or you talking down to yourself and thinking that there's something wrong with you. It's about alignment, using food as your medicine, knowing how to stabilize your blood sugar with food, understanding how to support your liver, calming down your inflammation inside of your body, and stop eating inflammatory foods. Learning how to sync with the body so that you have energy again. Creating different habits that regulate your stress so you don't eat your stress. Because a lot of women I talk to eat their emotions. I used to be one of those women. Reset your adrenal glands and regain that balance. Learning how to shift your patterns emotionally so that you are stable, so you're not stuck in fear or fight or flight mode or frustration thinking that diet culture was the problem. That you're the problem because diet culture is the answer and it's not working for you. Because diet culture has never been made, it was never designed for it to help you. Diet culture was made and designed for you to be sitting here thinking that 1 minute eating healthy and the next minute going back to your old habits is normal, because you should treat yourself and then you take care of yourself and you go back and forth, because as long as you're in the gym, as long as you're restricting your calories and you're starving, this is the way you're healthy. But as somebody who's plant-based, there has not been a day that goes by where I'm starving myself, calorie counting, restricting to the point where I was on diet culture. Diet culture, I was starving all day. Eating the foods that were supposed to be healthier for me, I was starving all day. I was playing sports, I'm doing all these different things, and I'm seeing results as far as me losing a little bit of weight. But I was never able to sustain it. And the reason why I was never able to sustain it is because it's not a sustainable goal. Diet culture never has a sustainable goal. It has a momentary goal. Look good for your wedding. Look good for your birthday. Look good for the next 2 months. Look good in 6 months. And then once those 6 months are up, 7 month, you're not looking good anymore. There's never sustainable habits because it's not your lifestyle. There's a foundation that has cracks in it because your body cannot trust you, and your habits are showing and proving to your body that it cannot trust you to stay in a healthy space. But when it can trust you again, when your hormones find a rhythm and you stay on that rhythm, your energy becomes steady and you can hold on to that. And if you are looking to be able to have steady energy, get into the space of balancing yourself with food and learning how to get into that space and stay there and sustain that space, I have my balanced energy blueprint that is going to be happening on September 25th. It is a masterclass, and it's going to be your first step into clarity and making a new foundation of how you change your lifestyle. Because I'm not going to be sitting here operating in the space where they have programmed you into confusion. We are in the space of simplicity, knowing how to connect the energy to the symptoms that you're having, and then restoring balance inside the body. And so if you are looking for that and you know that this is time for you to get into this space, I have my tickets that are already posted in my link in my bio. You can go grab your ticket. If you want the replay and you want the 2 bonuses that I have that are coming with the people who are in that masterclass, it is $147. And for the people who just want to be in the masterclass that are okay with taking notes and don't want the replay, it is at $111. Your choice now, the choices that you make, are going to depend how healthy you are by 2026 and all the way up to 2030. Because you thinking that you can wait, I'm telling you now, y'all are depending on insurance companies and you're depending on these momentary band-aids that are not going to be there and accessible anymore. You're going to be very confused and very thrown off by the time of 2027. And your hormones are already in that space. Your stress is already in that space. So can you only imagine when the body completely ends up breaking down and throwing itself off? I don't know what they're... Thank you for your heart, me. I don't know. Are you coming here to self-promote yourself? Because I don't know who you are. You just followed and I appreciate it. But if that's what... This is not that. So I'm just going to let you know right now. You can join in with the conversation or please leave. If not, I will mute you. I'm going to give you a warning because you're new here. But I don't know why in the world you would come into somebody else's stream and start promoting yourself when nobody has seen you ever in your life. Anywho, any questions that you guys have for me before I get off? Because like I said, if you were ready for that change and you were looking for that guidance and you're looking for that support, the link is in my bio. And if you were looking to get into my Balanced Body program, which is going to dive deeper into not only that reconnection, that restoration, and giving you exactly what you need and learning how to make your own plant-based meals, learning how to cycle sync as a woman, understanding how you're going to be supported and how you need to start supporting yourself with natural medicine, with whole natural foods, using food as your medicine, and knowing how to make non-toxic products. My Balanced Body program will support you. But that masterclass is on the 25th. You can go check out more details in my bio. And let me know if any links are not working. What questions do you guys have for me before I get off? Hi, Elle. Welcome in. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, well, hi. How are you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Any questions for me at all? If you don't have any questions, I'm gonna hop off and I'm gonna go work out because like I said, I'm a little backwards today. I said I was gonna go live first because I feel like this workout's gonna make me sleepy, so I need to go work out first so I didn't get sleepy for live. Any questions? Thank you for the roses. I appreciate you. I hope that this live has supported you. I hope that it's helped you make some connections. If you're not on my email list, get on my email list. I send out a Wellness Wednesday email every single week, as well as I also have various things in my bio, like my my plant-based mastery quiz that'll help you and support you. It's free, as well as my Wellness Wednesday is free. And if you are looking, because I know that we had somebody who commented earlier and said that they don't know how to cook, I have a beginner guide, plant-based beginner guide, to show you easy recipes that you can be able to cook. It helped support my best friend in being able to learn how to not only make plant-based meals, but it converted her completely over to plant-based within a couple of weeks, because she realized, first of all, the girl never grew up in the kitchen. She realized how simple it could be to cook these foods, and understood why she did not need to have meat anymore after being with me for a little bit and cooking these meals that I have in there, because it is simple. It's just a matter of knowing what replacements. And then, as well as, I also have a plethora of other different things. If you are dealing with diabetes, I have my Eating Away Diabetes cookbook. And if you are looking to learn how to read your own label, read your labels, learn what toxins are inside of your food, I do have a plant-based Purge the Poison Toxic Ingredients guide that is going to help you be able to read your labels and know what they mean. Thank you. I'm not seeing any questions, so I am going to hop off. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I think I've gone live for three times this week, I'm pretty sure. So I don't think I'll be live again tomorrow. We'll be live again next week. I'll try to be on Sunday, but if not, if you're on my email list, you'll know for sure. I think my puppers needs to go outside anyway. So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Peace, y'all. I'm out. Thank you guys for the likes and the gifts.